Hi, folks, and welcome back to the Original Church. In a previous episode, I talked a little bit about the doctrine of the Trinity, and I want to follow up on that with some videos on related doctrines. So, this video is on a doctrine called consubstantiality. It sounds complicated, but it's really not, and in a few minutes, you'll understand it. Now, this is important because in the latest translation of the Nicene Creed into English, specifically the one we use in the Catholic Church, we have this word, consubstantial. Jesus Christ, the Son, is consubstantial with the Father. Now, what does that mean? You may remember the older translation, or maybe you're in a tradition that uses a different translation. The Creed used to say that the Father and Son are one in being. But the truth is, nobody knew what that meant either. Still, there was a lot of complaining after the change, as if the word consubstantial is hard to understand, but one in being isn't. Anyway, several years ago, I made a video about that in my video rant series. And this video today replaces that one because that video is now a little outdated. But my point was then, and my point is now, that this word, consubstantial, is a gift. It's a gift to the church because it forces us to think about what it means, and it forces our clergy to teach the people what it means. Now, full disclosure, I am not clergy. I am not ordained. I'm a layperson. You might say I'm a lay catechist. But because I have a PhD in exactly this, I'm able to teach it. And so, here we go. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all consubstantial. What does that mean? Well, it means two things. First, the word itself, consubstantial, means same substance. Consubstantial, same substance. But what does that mean? Well, the substance of God is divinity itself. And that substance of divinity, well, that's what we're talking about when we say that God is omnipotent or all-powerful, often translated as almighty, or omnipresent, everywhere at once and not contained within creation or in any one time or place. Omniscient or all-knowing, and omnibenevolent or all good. In other words, God is love. All of that and more, these attributes of divinity, this is the very substance of God, which is divinity itself. So, consubstantial is same substance, which means same divinity. The Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit are all the same divinity. This is why we can worship Jesus and still claim to be monotheists, still claim that we only worship one God. We worship all three persons of the Trinity, but still we only worship one God because all three persons of the Trinity are one divinity. They are consubstantial. Irenaeus of Lyon, writing in Greek in the 2nd century, said that the persons of the Trinity are the same essence. And essence sometimes gets translated into English as being. And so that's how you get the older translation, one in being. Same essence, one in being. But Tertullian, writing in Latin, used the word substance to mean the same thing. Not a tangible substance, but again, the very essence of the thing, which in this case is divinity itself. So, same essence is same substance is consubstantial, which means same divinity. But that's not all. The second thing that consubstantial means is that the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit are all co-eternal, equally eternal. Now, this was kind of an issue at the time that the Nicene Creed was being written. There were some people saying that the Father came first and the Son came later. These are those heretics you might have heard of called the Arians. They said that the Father created the Son, and the Son was a created being. Now, this creates all kinds of problems. It makes the Son a lesser divinity than the Father, and we don't believe in degrees of divinity. And it makes the first person of the Trinity change. God is supposed to be unchanging, but if the Son came later, then the Father went from not being a father to being a father, and that's a problem. And so the bishops corrected all of this at the Council of Nicaea in 325. And there they emphasized that the Father and the Son are both eternal in the past and in the future. The Son is just as eternal as the Father, and there was no time when the Son didn't exist. The very beginning of John's Gospel, John 1:1, says this: "In the beginning was the Word," and you know the Word is the Son, Jesus Christ. "And the Word was with God," meaning that the Son is equally eternal with the Father. He has always existed. "And the Word was God," meaning that the Son is the same divinity as the Father. And right there in one verse, you have both meanings of the word consubstantial. The word consubstantial means same divinity. The Word was God. But that necessarily also includes the fact that the Father and Son are co-eternal. The Word was with God. And so, what does consubstantial mean? It means two things: same divinity, same eternity. It's not any more complicated than that. But just to be clear, this does not mean that the Father and Son are one and the same. That would be a mistake. In fact, that's a whole different heresy called modalism. In fact, I think this was the confusion over the phrase one in being, and possibly why that phrase was changed in the New Translation. It was too easy for people to misunderstand one in being as if it meant one and the same. It does not mean that. The Father and Son are one, but they are not one and the same. They're not the same. The three persons are the same divinity, but they remain distinct divine persons. So, the Father and Son are one, but the Father is not the Son, and the Son is not the Father. The Father and Son are one God, one divinity, one substance, one essence, but they are not one in the same, because the Father is not the Son and the Son is not the Father. The persons are distinct, but not separate. One, but not the same. So with that in mind, what does consubstantial mean? It means two things: same divinity, same eternity. And that's why the three persons of the Trinity are still only one God. Same divinity, same eternity. What does consubstantial mean? Repeat after me. Same divinity, same eternity. Same divinity, same eternity. And now, when you say the creed, you know what it means. Hey, thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. I really appreciate that. Please share this video with your friends, and please join me in the Original Church community on locals.com. Don't forget that if you join the Original Church community on locals.com, you can join me each week for a live, in-depth, chronological Bible study. It's live streamed every Saturday, but you can watch it later if you're not available. So join me for that, and I'll see you there. I hope to see you there. I hope to see you there, and I'll see you there.